Hello everyone, it's me again, Nancy Finch, doing Nancy Finch Nan Talks, and everyone knows that Nan can talk. It's lovely to be here for you. I'm just wondering how anybody got on with last week's Nan Talk. We did remove the rucksack, not the rucksack, the rucksack is the tongue twister. But basically, it was about removing all pressure from yourself, from your life. So I'm just wondering how you got on with that. Let me know how you got on if you want to message me. I really need your feedback because when you do my exercises in my talks, they really are very useful for the book I'm writing. And also, I can get to talk to other people about how generally those exercises are received, which would be really good. So that was last week. So if you want to go back to it, go and have a look at my website or go on my Facebook page. So my website is www.nancyfinch.co.uk. And also I'm on YouTube and you can catch me there. But my Facebook page is Nancy Finch St Austell, so you can always join me on that. And I do a live thing every Monday where I kind of prescribe you different exercises that you might need from different talks I've done. So that's very interactive at 12 o'clock, usually on a Monday. So if you want to join me on that, feel free to join me. If not, just as I say, catch up on my website. There's loads of meditations on there as well. And they're all free. Just enjoy them, share them. And of course, if you like what you hear and you like the exercises, please like, subscribe and share. That would be great. I'd like to sort of build up a nice little community of people that get everything I'm doing. So I hope you can do that. So today is all about think as you drink. Okay, this is a really nice, easy way to kind of program yourself with an intention. Okay, now I've got a bottle of water here, very nice bottle actually, it's got crystals in it. And I think every time I drink something, water, whatever you're drinking, doesn't matter, whatever fluid you're drinking, you can have an intention that goes with it. Now I've got a label on mine just to remind me what I'm intending. Okay. It could be abundance, enchantment, protection, blessed. It could be anything. It could be anything you want. You don't have to put a label on it, but if you do, it's a reminder for you to think those things as you're drinking it. So that does the trick. What it does is it programs your mind to think, okay, I'm going to have those things. And usually what you put on your bottle is something you're not feeling. And so you can either write that out or just think it as you're drinking it. So when you wake up in the night and you have a drink of water, it might be good health, or it might be happiness, or it might be anything else. It's a good little habit to get yourself into, because what you're doing is you're, as I say, programming your subconscious. And we're talking with only 3% here, and 97% is where we're programming. So even if you're going to argue with it and you think, oh, I haven't got good health, or whatever it is you're putting into your body with that concept, if you're arguing with that because you have the lack of it, that's where it's really important that you just ignore that feeling and just program your mind with that is mine, because your mind is a very, very powerful thing. Everybody knows this. We can help to fix our bodies quickly. We can do all kinds of things. People can get into researching that if they want to. But I like to work with the psychology of how we can program ourselves. And I know this works because I do it myself all the time. And people I've given this to, this particular exercise, they've all really benefited. You know, every one of them, I've given it to them perhaps for health reasons, or they've had to sort of look at their imbalances in their body. I'm always showing you this. But this is basically if they've got, if they need good health in any of those areas, I basically give them advice to have a label on their bottle of water and see what happens. I mean, you've got nothing to lose, right? It really is very good to know some facts about why this works as well. Many years ago, this is just going to help people that need the logic and the proof. Many years ago, I thought I had a very bad condition, a stomach problem. And to cut a very long story short, the doctor did a blood test and he had to have me back the next week to find out what the inflammation level was in my body. Because we were sort of investigating more serious issues that could be there. So I remember all I did is put good health on my bottle of water. That's all I put on it. And I was drinking the water. Now, the condition itself at the time did not go away. And I kept thinking, well, perhaps it hasn't worked. This is my little conscious brain. I thought, no, I'm just going to keep drinking it. So I kept drinking Good Health. And when I went back to the doctors, it was quite bizarre, really. He said to me, you know, if your inflammation was measuring 20, you'd probably have a sore throat or something. And if you had an illness, it would probably measure 50. But if you had cancer or anything more serious, it would probably measure more than 80. Guess what your number is, he said. I said, go on then, expecting the worst. I was always a worry head then. And he said, it's 0.1. He said, nobody's 0.1. Get out of it. He said, just, you're well. So I remember thinking, wow, that really worked. And okay, the problem didn't go away straight away, but it really did work. It made me feel so much more in charge when I realised all I'd done is told myself I had good health. And that's exactly what I was ordering. Even though at the time there was no evidence to say that was true, I still did it. And it made me feel great. Well, now I know I can just put anything on there and it will work. Now, I've done this for other people who have been very seriously ill. 2 people I'm thinking of in particular. And they had cancer and they were really high numbers, very high numbers, measuring like sort of inflammation levels, sort of up to nearly 200, 150, very high numbers. So I gave them this exercise. And because I knew about the 0.1 being the lowest level you can get of inflammation in your body, I told them to put Good Health 0.1 because they had my story as evidence. So they did that. And you know what? Over a period of time, their levels went right down from a very high level all the way down to 0.5 and 0.3. That was 2 people I'm thinking of. And basically, they were very impressed because that meant that the condition couldn't really get worse because all the inflammation was very low. And that was very powerful, and they're still using it. It works. So that was my evidence to show you today. Clients have used it for lots of reasons, lots of health reasons usually. But you could just have a concept. Supposing you had a lack in your life. Perhaps you didn't have any money, or perhaps you felt you weren't happy, or you had stress. Maybe you want relaxation on there. Think about the opposite of the problem that you're feeling right now. And just think, well, what would I like to have? And if you haven't got any problems, just put good health and happiness or something else to that effect. What I like about this is that every single word you put on there, every positive word you put on, is going to have an effect on different parts of your body, okay? So, for instance, if you put, I've got a little list here. If you put good health, that would affect your green and your red, okay? That's really good. And if you had love, that would affect the green, especially. If you had security and safety on your bottle, or just think those things in, remember, that would be red, mostly this area here. Because if you worried, you might think, well, I want security and I want to know I'm safe. Well, just put that on your bottle, okay? Doesn't matter how much you put on there. I would only put a couple things on, really, to keep it simple. So going back to my list here, self-value would be the orange. That's quite a nice one. Confidence would be your yellow. That's lovely. Wealth would be purple. That's your head, crown chakra, and your red. Now, these areas would help to flourish and flow and keep you well naturally if you use those concepts, those words that you're programming in your mind. A bit like an affirmation, only you're doing it with an action. Because you're drinking water, you're actually helping yourself to digest the idea of those feelings, okay, those thoughts. So what we've got, power, we've had abundance, power and control is yellow, happiness is yellow. Now yellow here is your identity, and it also governs your spine, it helps your body to work well. It's just a really nice, it naturally produces happiness once it's open. So perhaps if you were unhappy, you might want to put happiness on your bottle of water. And also, interrupting myself for a second, Masaru Emoto, you see a picture of him behind me. He would show you, if you go to look up his site, it's referenced on my website. Basically a scientist, beautiful scientist, that proved what feelings do to you, okay? And how happiness is one of the strongest words you can use. If you want to look up what words do to your body's the water in your body, then go and look up Masaru Emoto. He was a very clever scientist. Not with us now, unfortunately, but his website's still there and you can look up all the information. So, and he proved, by the way, that when you look into water, the actual molecules in the water changed. They should be like that little shape behind me if they're happy. That's hope. Hope would look like that, a six-sided shape. You can't see that that's in there, but if you were to freeze it, then you would see. And so if you want to look that up and how that actually is true, what you're putting in your water is a different composition of energy. So if you look up Masaru Emoto, you'll find out more about it. But as I say, so there's lots of reasons why you're doing this. You're doing it to program your mind. You're also taking in those feelings with an action, and you are changing the water, which is lovely. I met Masaru Emoto a few years ago. Wonderful person. So please look him up if you want to look up more evidence, of course. Now, going back to my list, we've got spiritual growth. Supposing you wanted to grow spiritually or be more mentally aware, you could put mental awareness or whatever you want. But spirituality is this one here, third eye. Trust is purple and red. That's really a good one. These two here would help to open. Support would be green, orange and blue, those areas. Creativity would be blue. That's this one here. That's what's mostly, if you find that you're a bit stuck, you want to start getting more creative, then just put creativity on your bottle. I know a lot of artists that use this actually because they get sort of, or writer's blocks, and basically they just think, I can't think of anything. So they just simply put on the bottle of label on the water what they want. So creativity or great ideas or inspiration, you can put that on there. That would be good for the light blue as well. So positivity, that's a good one. That's for your crown mostly. Okay, but it does affect your indigo as well, your feelings. So these are some of the areas, some of the words that affect the areas, that anything positive is going to have a positive effect on your body. Okay, because you know what that feeling is that goes with that word. You want to feel that. So instead of wanting it, write it on your bottle or a jug, anything, put it in the fridge. It would encourage you to drink more water as well, which is actually a good thing. This is filtered water. I love my water here. But I actually have crystals in mine. Really nice. So if you want to try this, tell me how you feel. You can experiment. As I say, it might help you to drink more water anyway, and that helps your body physically, as you know. Helps every organ to work in your body, and your brain works better, and memory works better actually when you drink water. So if you want to, have a go at this. Try it for a week. I know loads of clients, my clients that have done it, and they even go to work with bottles with labels written on the water bottles. And it's a great way of inspiring other people. And just have a little go at it. Tell me how you get on. This exercise links beautifully with another exercise I've done, which is called Dear Body. And that was number 15, talk number 15 on the 10th of the 5th. So if you want to look that up, then go to my website and have a look at that. Because on that Dear Body one, you're sort of instructing your body what you want it to do. And it kind of links beautifully with the water, okay? So it's another physical thing you can do. So you're changing, this particular one is actually all about physical stuff, the Dear Body, but you can link it beautifully with other concepts that you've got written on your water, okay? So have a look at that. There are other ones you might like to link it with as well, but those two came to mind to put together. Because you see, when you put more than one exercise, you do one and you think that works, I'm going to do another one, and that links with it. It reinforces and makes this stronger in the effect. So I hope you can use them and share them, of course. If you know anyone that's not well, perhaps it's not going to hurt them to have a label on a bottle of water or put it beside their water, or if they don't want to put anything on it, or just think it as they're drinking. It can't hurt, it can only help. So, and I know personally it works, I've done it all the time. And so if you had a headache, you would just think, what's the opposite of that? Pain-free, maybe just happy, maybe just well. A good health would be good, as I say. 0.1 was my lowest number, and if ever I do get any inflammation in my body, I simply think that, or I put it on the bottle. And I have found the results working every time for me, okay? So we've got your chakra energy will be better as well when you use this, because as I say, words open chakras. So I think I've covered everything I've got on my list. Next week, we're going to be doing the 10 Commandments of Self. Now that's quite an interesting one, because it's about a pledge you make to yourself, your higher self. You're kind of helping yourself to be everything you want to be now, this year. Okay, so I'll explain that more next week. Please go to my website, and also join me for tea with Nan on Monday if you want to, at 12 o'clock. And I can then prescribe you whichever Nan talk is really best for you. That'd be great. So enjoy this one. I think, I actually have one more thing to say. All my exercises are geared for certain parts of the body anyway. So for instance, you're having all those lovely words you're thinking about that I've just reeled off to you, could have different effects on different parts of the body. But this particular whole exercise of drinking, thinking as you drink, is especially good for this one. So anyone that's going to practice this today or whenever is going to really help their thyroid, their throat, take away tension here, open that chakra, be more joyful, emotionally free. That happens naturally when that's opened, okay? This exercise actually helps to make that happen. So you're a winner every way, really, aren't you? So I hope, as I say, you enjoy playing with that. Join me if you want to on Monday at 12. I'm doing another Nan talk next week, 10 Commandments of Self. So if you're interested in that, that's going to help you as well. And I wish you all a very happy week. Have lots of fun, stay safe and positive. And it's a Namaste moment, and thank you for listening, and please have fun with the exercise today. Thank you very much. See you soon. Lots of love. Bye.